Okay, foliage normal, because we're basically in landscape sort of thing. And I think, I don't know, I just got the impression that maybe we came down it that way, and I don't think we get going to get any joy down there, unless that is the back end of the pool and we've missed it. So, I don't know, let's look at the time, fellas. If we can get to the clock, and it is actually still on the, oh, it's in my pocket, isn't it? It's still in my pocket. So, if we can get out 2:50, so that's 3:50, so it's really, we're 10 minutes ahead, so that would be 3:40, so but we get an extra hour of sunlight sort of thing. I want to be back in time for the, so 3:40, we're getting close to 4 o'clock, so I'm willing to give it another half an hour look, basically. And we've got a halfway, this is my 4th card, I've got another 3 I think, so you know, I think this is what this one's going to be today, fellas. It's just another ease-in rant sort of thing, and it wasn't as easy as I thought, and it never is it, you know? I thought we were just going to walk down, find the same way back, you know? I suppose the only bonus is we found another colony of pygmea in a place we didn't think, you know. Yeah. For all we know, it could be some seed that Donnie put out there years ago, thinking, you know, I'll try and, you know, as a safety net, and then they never germinated in his time sort of thing. And he's watching these clips now and thinking, oh shit, it worked, you know, like a decade after he'd given up or something, you know. How did that happen? Yeah. Maybe the seeds can tell that we're getting to a flip the year or something. I just feel so it's either that's the back end of it and we've missed it. We did see that other area in there, or we went right the way around and it's over here somewhere, and which seems very strange again. Because I don't think did we see that? This sort of gorge thing in here? But well, at least we know it's here if we do find it down there, I suppose. Just gives us more and more exploration to do. But as I said, I can't see anything up there. No little flashes of red or anything, or a different coloured flower hanging over there or something, you know. You can't see barely any detail, I reckon, because one, I'm not on macro, and oh, hang on. There's something deceptive up there. But if it grows up there and our pool is over there, surely it's got to be, the seed has got to have floated down over eons of time. And yeah, I think it's a case of going up and along, basically. Well, all that grit stuff that was in the bottom of my thing, it's either been pushed out to my toes area, or I've turned it into muddy silk, because all that grit feels like it's gone. So yeah, I don't know, it's just maybe we came round and down on it that way. Or if that's true, surely we should bump into the path that goes down to it. But it's so illusory, isn't it? Maybe I should have looked at some fence post marker or something on the barbed wire fence or something on the wall. But I think I was just too buggered last time. Well, there's the herbaria for you, fellas. Look at that. In this dappled shade sort of thing. Stop moving the camera, Richard. Pan and pause. He doesn't focus until he pulls the camera. But no, this isn't the tree, but it is a nice one, isn't it? Even though it's probably, yeah, it is dead. Oh. I want to stick to the edge, don't I, so I can see. Well, that's one can of Coke down, got one more to go. I'm glad I actually did bring the other one with me. Maybe it'll be a celebratory Coke if we get down to something. Ah, it's flattening out there with a lot of our fern, which is always a good sign, even though its roots mat into everything and nothing can really grow really well. If we come down here, we might. I don't know. I just feel like we're going to go back to that path. I'm going to have a long walk back to the bloody car. Unless that pool actually goes out the back somehow and gets bigger than you think it is. Like, that crescent thing is actually an even bigger pond or something. I think I need to push along a bit further, and another 1 or 2 pushes, and at least we'll get a vista that will settle the matter once and for all, sort of thing. Can't be. Just seems crazy. Or do we have enough time to go back to the car and start again a second go? I don't think I've got the energy, fellas. Yeah, up and along, I think. Out to there and get a vista point. I don't know. Well, is the didn't we look up and look at the vegetation on the other side of the hill? Wasn't there a bit of rockage or something on the other side of the hill? A really big, was it a bit of rockage or a big giant termite mound? The biggest one we'd ever seen or something? Well, that's got to be a marker for it, surely. Maybe that's the title of this. If we come across it, the biggest termite mound we ever saw. Oh. Oh. Going down to something. So let me guess, there's no snakes out here because they don't like the slope, or they're all down there because that's where the water is. So we'll be rushing down and we'll see us down in Bernard, and we'll rush down and get see it or something, and forget about listening out for snakes. Oh, Jesus, fellas, I'm about ready to give up here. I'll be 50 next year, you know that. You got your cards ready? Yeah, it has dawned on me that Phil Mann died in the year of Magnum-OPUS. The question I want to know is, did he die of natural causes? Was it cancer? Did the Magnum-OPUS get him so angry he had a heart attack? You know? It pissed him off so much he took his own life. It was suicide. I mean, of all the years you want to die in, do you really want to die in the year of Magnum-OPUS, you know, when you're a well-known, respected person in the CP world? I mean, I remember a friend of my dad's, he had a heart attack, and he sent the nurse away to get him, I think it was a cup of tea actually, not a coffee. If I remember right, this is what I'm trying to remember from my childhood when my dad told me. He basically reached out with his hand, his finger, and turned the heart-lung machine of the day, you know, the basic stuff they had back then. This is like in the 1960s, late 1960s, or could have been even early 70s. Reached out while the nurse was away getting him a cup of tea. He sent her off to get a cup of tea. He reached out and turned the machine off, and he was dead when she came back. I mean, that takes balls to do that. I don't know if Phil Mann has gone down the same sort of pathway. Well, I'm going to teach this bugger a lesson. I'll show you how much balls it takes to be a proper CP person. I'm going to top myself in the year of Magnum-OPUS. Take the shine off your little smegging vendetta, or it seems to be a smegging vendetta. I did note that the first photograph that went up from Stuart McPherson was open at the page on the indica section. So of all the 3 volumes you had to open up and all the pages you had to open up, the first page that was shown to the general public on it by Stuart McPherson, as far as I know, that went up on Facebook, was open at the indica section. So I noted that. That didn't go past me, and I thought, of all the things, why did you open it up there? I mean, it has no real relevance to me, but it probably has relevance to other people, you know. And of what I've probably told you in the past on these video clips, you can probably connect the dots. But yeah, I've noticed that some of the names have been sort of moving about. We've got Drosera magna now. It's not subspecies Erythrorhiza subspecies, or not Drosera Erythrorhiza subspecies magna. It's now just so-called Drosera magna. As I said, when I was a kid there, the one over the back of my place, he used to sit in the sand in a particular way, and he used to have, as far as I can remember, there was something different about the edge of it, the actual margin of the leaf. So it used to sit in the sand in a different way, and used to have a slightly different, and the flower stalk was something, as I was describing it to these 2 scientists, I said it was like it was a halfway house between Macrophylla and the photo, the drawings in Rickert Erickson, or in my copy of Rickert Erickson, the watercolor thing, transfer plate or whatever it is. The flower stalk of my one was somewhere halfway house between the Macrophylla and the Erythrorhiza shown in that book there. It was a bit of both. So I said, well, it's not Macrophylla and it's not this, it's something else, you know. And of course then we had this subspecies, Erythrorhiza subspecies magna, and all the photographs I've seen, I still have not seen a photograph that matches what I used to see almost every day during the season over the back of my place. You know, I had actually almost 5 years of that, because as I said, that was before I met Phil Mann and before I went to Canton Swamp. So I had almost 5 years of viewing that on a regular basis, you know. And you're a child, you take more in. So, you know, when I say I still have not seen photographs that match what I saw as a child, I still reckon there's either something out there or used to be out there. As far as I know, the site that I was at, it's been covered with an old folks home, but you always know you might get the odd plant around the edge of the old folks home or on the other side of the road. I never ever got to the other side of the road because it was a busy highway sort of thing, and your parents were always saying, you know, don't cross a busy road. So, you know, you could see it on the other side that, oh, it could be something interesting. And down at Canton Swamp, we used to actually drive past Biblis gigantea all the time. We didn't know about it because I sent some slides to James Fielder, a friend over there, and he managed to find Canton Swamp and match it up with the eucalypts in the slide. Everything else looked totally different, but the eucalypts were the same in the slides. And he said, guess what I found this morning? We're driving past, and by the bloody you know, the Stowby pole equivalent there was Biblis gigantea, and we'd driven past that time countless times and didn't even bother to look, you know what I mean? That was just the drive into Canton Swamp. There was Biblis gigantea sitting there by the roadside, and I didn't know, in this sort of, you know, ditch type area next to the telegraph pole things they have over there, not the same as the ones we have here. So yeah. So that was amazing to realise that I was that close to seeing Biblis gigantea in the wild at Canton Swamp, and never actually did, even though we're basically driving past it, you know, countless times each season. That's amazing. But and then not going across the other road from this triangular site because, you know, your parents are saying, you know, it's a busy road, you know, even doing the hectare thing, you know, looking right, looking left and all that sort of bizzo. You were still a bit, you know, it was quite a busy road, you know, even back in the 70s, you know. Well, the speed limits, well, it was all in miles, wasn't it, you know, and people were driving much faster, you know, and the sound of them going past was almost frightening because it was in miles, you know. They weren't driving in kilometres back then, they were driving in miles, so, you know, it was, you know, like, so basically they were making the same sort of windage as a truck would normally make, you know what I mean? So the cars were making the same sort of windage, and that used to frighten the hell out of a kid, you know, out of a child. So yeah, anyway, but bit of a gas bag here, but you know, I have noted that Phil Mann died in the year of Magnum-OPUS. It could just be a chance occurrence, but maybe Magnum-OPUS killed him, or he got so pissed off with Magnum-OPUS that he took his own life. I don't know, but whether we're going to actually get to the final truth, or certain people out there are going to try and smooth over the cracks and make it all look glossy for the kiddies, I don't know, rather than actually telling the truth of how bad the social politics of CPs have got in this country over the years, due to basically one person, who's been a total arsehole smacking cunt, and there's no cure for a arsehole smacking. The only cure for an arsehole smacking cunt is menopause. Yes, with emphasis on the men. Yeah. With paraphrasing Game of Thrones, but yeah. I just hope the 70 rule comes into play. I really do. We can CPs in this country can actually start to look up again. I just hope I live long enough to actually live in a post Magnum Opus world, sort of thing. It would be nice. Just, like a book stop or a door stop. Put it all behind you, sort of thing. It would be nice to put all that behind you and say, well, we can start again, we can start anew, we can start afresh, sort of thing. But I'll just start a new clip and we'll walk a bit along, and if it doesn't pan out, I'm just going back to the car, fellas. I think I've had enough for today. It should have been a lot quicker than this, but I'm tempted though. It's just the right time of the year too, and I want to see how much water is in there, and is there less water or more water or what? Okay, over and out.